Hi and welcome back to Animating a Drum using MIDI. On the last video we've actually got the right hand stick working with the rim shot pattern. Now what we're going to do, we're going to use the snare, so we need to reposition the stick into a new location. The first thing we need to do is put the snare pattern into the same timeline as the stick, and this is where you can see if that would have collided. Using that MIDI helper has assured us that we are not going to collide at this particular point if we've got everything right. So, okay, so what we're going to do first of all is we're going to go back to the script and we're going to run that script. Now, making sure that I've got the drumstick right selected there. The assignments here back into 10. We're now going to push in the snare drum onto the same stick. So we pop that in, we choose down here Y rotate, but this time we're going to use -20. Add that in, apply the assignments. Okay. So now we've got more patterns coming here. Now it's a bit difficult to see it straight away, but if you now come along here and watch the stick go up and down, it will suddenly go a lot further, just there. Okay, so this is going up, down, back up again. So between there and there is where it's actually changing. So now we need to make sure that we move the stick into a better location. So here we can move the stick up. We can actually turn it round if we so wished, and we want to move it left a little bit. So we're going to go that way. Okay, and then this is the other control that we can use to turn the stick round slightly that way. And again, bring it back over. Now we're going to look here to see where it actually is and what it looks like in real life. So it's not looking too bad in that position. Okay, so from there, I'm going to make them constant. And now what's going to happen is you can see that it's striking the drum with a lot more clout than it was before. Okay, so we've gone from just hitting the side to now a quick jump from there to there, and then a good bang on the top there. So what we need to do is just make sure that we're not right inside the drum, which we probably are. Okay, so looking at that in a more realistic fashion, we need to move it up a bit higher. So come back to that point, move it up a little bit higher, put it back to constant, and now check it again. And now it's looking more realistic. Come back round again. It's probably still a bit too far in, so we'll just take it a little bit higher. Always return back to this point here in time. Okay, so we're going to take it up a little bit higher. Again, make it constant, and then just have another look, see where it's going. That doesn't look too bad. Okay, so now we've got a new line here, which is a fixed point for this particular next animation, which is quite useful. But if we're clever about this, we go back to this one here, which was the original one, and we copy that one in there. Now what we do is we follow this along. Keeping an eye on where it is. Okay, something's happening here. So there's a change there. Do you see that? So just from there, we're going quite a good run there. Then it goes up, then it goes down a little bit. So this is the point it goes up. So this point here must be where it resets down to the original tap. Okay, so if we now paste that in there, we've now got that fixed point we had earlier bringing that drum back again. Now, if we then carry on, okay, and then there, and then it goes back to that original one again. So somewhere here, we go and pick up this pattern again here, okay? Make sure you don't get any of the others in there. So we're going to pick this one up this time. Copy that one. And bring it along. We'll go back to where we were. Okay. And this is where we changed it to go to the other one. And then it goes back to the original one there. So that's the note on. So at this point here, we're going to push in the same timestamp there that we created. So we got that literally back to where it was. So we've gone from that drum to the original one and then back again. Okay? And in reality, we'll now watch what's happening with this as we go along. You'd have to go through the whole of the sequence, but I won't do all of it. Okay, so we're going to start back from here. This is where the original pattern was working. So I'm going to go along a little bit so we can see it change and watch what happens. Okay, here we go then. I'll turn that down a bit so I don't blow your head off. Okay, that's that bit. Let's move it over here to save us a bit of time. Okay, so that's the result of putting these fixed points in time, if you like. So you can move it from one to the other. Now, what you can do, now you know where that is, you can make that a little bit less basically straight across, because that is a constant. So you could actually put some intermediate times, and you could in fact change them to the TSB or linear so that it's a bit more of a smoother way. And I believe you can use key. There's another one that does curves, which can allow you to do that transformation a bit quick. But you can see in real time, that's actually quite fast change between one and the other. So that's how you get the snare come to work in that particular way. And doing this, then it provides a nice way of times and space for you to return things backwards and forwards to. So, okay, I'm going to leave that with you. And that's the end of this video. Thank you for listening. And maybe we'll see you on the next. Take good care.